Coach's Corner is presented by Roanoke Valley Harley-Davidson. Stop by their store on Peters Creek Road for new and used motorcycles, service and repair, along with Harley-Davidson clothing and collectibles.
Hello and welcome in to another episode of Coach's Corner. I'm Mitch, Stewart, and today I'm joined by Rail Yard Dawgs assistant coach Nick DeVito. Nick, thanks for joining me.
Great to be here, Mitch.
You've had a little bit of time now after the past couple of weeks where the season has ended, and maybe you've had a chance to look back at things and try to make sense of maybe how the season came to an end for you guys in the first round. It was a really hotly contested series with you all on the Ice Bears. They end up progressing through to the President's Cup final. When you look back now in hindsight, what were maybe some of those differences, some of the things that maybe didn't go your way that allowed the Ice Bears to take that series from you guys?
Yeah, I don't know if it's any one thing. I think up and down the roster, we had a better player at every position. Whether it's our 10th forward, their 10th forward, their worstie, our worstie, it doesn't matter. We had a better team across the board. And I think as a group, we know we didn't live up to expectations, and it stings a little bit. I mean, I guess there's a consolation prize in seeing them go to the final, but at the end of the day, it's something we always say, it's all about us, and we weren't good enough.
The regular season, a lot of it is about getting yourselves ready for April, and I think there were a lot of great signs and great flashes of what this team could be throughout the year, whether it's the franchise record with 34 wins. Throughout the regular season, there was that hot run with the 10-game winning streak through February. When you kind of look back at this season as a whole and try to put it into perspective, what do you kind of take away from this season? I know that you guys want to get to the end. That's the ultimate goal, but what can you kind of take away from a season like this?
I mean, there's always positives, right? I mean, there's always steps in the right direction. I think, it's great to have all those regular season accolades, and you're seeing it with some of the guys getting regular season awards and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, like you said, it's about where you finish. And the year we won, we had 0 people with awards. So for me, I think as a group, we need to do a better job of making sure we're ready to go when it matters.
When the group was really humming it and playing together at their best, I think everyone could see that Roanoke's best may be about as good as anybody's, if not the best in the league. What were those traits that made Roanoke really stick out, that made them so strong when you guys were playing at your highest level?
I think it's something Brems always talks about too is high RPMs, right? And when we were going at high RPMs, there was not a team in the league that could handle us. You look at guys like Gallagher, guys like Municello, those types of guys that just were never done working. I think if we had like spans of the season where we were doing that, and when we were winning 10 games in a row. So I think as a group, we can take away that we had the spurts, but it hurts more because you could have done it when it mattered too. So
making that transition from a player into a coach. Now you've got 2 years under your belt on the bench alongside of head coach Jan Bremner. I'm just curious to hear, as far as from your experience this year, maybe how is it different from that first season when you were behind the bench? Maybe some lessons learned, some experience gained. What did you kind of take away from this season just within your role as an assistant coach?
Yeah, I mean, I got called coach quite a lot more this year, which is something that I wasn't used to. A lot of guys just refer to me as Vito, and for me, it's not much different from year 1 to year 2. I just I wish I could be a little calmer behind the bench. I'm a very animated coach, and I get into it just like a player would, and it's something that I probably want to work on, is just be a little bit calmer back there, maybe more of a calming influence. But for the most part, I think year 1 to year 2, you learn lessons of just how to communicate with different players, and what makes them go after maybe Brems comes down on them or whatever it is, and how do I speak to them in a way that motivates them in a different way. And I think that's pretty much most of it, just communication.
You kind of look at this group that Roanoke has had over the past few years, whether it's the guys that were here before you arrived in 2021, or maybe some of those players that kind of joined you guys along the way that you won a championship with back in 2023, and then even some of these players that were brought in maybe in the last year or two that now have some longevity, some experience here in Roanoke. When you look toward the offseason now and what you want this team to look like in the 2025-2026 season, what is kind of that focal point of change or improvement? What are you and Dan kind of both on the same page on as far as what you want to look different about this team come October?
I think the last 2 seasons we've kind of moved towards more of a skill game. And I don't know if that's my fault too, getting in Brem's ear, but I think we need to get back to a little bit more of like a dirty dogs, top 2-3 in penalty minutes type of thing, like angry. If you look at the two teams in the final right now, two teams that played angry in the playoffs, and I think we want to get back to blue-collar lunch pail hockey, and we'll have some skill sprinkled in like we always have, and we definitely have the talent with guys that are coming back to have that already, and I think we need to put the right pieces around these guys that that help them do their job, make it a little tougher on the other team. I think that was probably what we were missing.
I know that you're almost more busy, if not than you were during the season. You got some big things coming up here in the next few weeks, but what does the summer look like for Nick DeVito? Now that the ice is melted, you get a little bit of time away from the game. What does this summer look like for you?
Yeah, I mean, it's nice to be away from the game just a little bit. Obviously, I'm still doing lessons for kids and stuff like that. But, I mean, I have, some golf on the docket. And, but for the main thing is I get married in a couple weeks and really looking forward to that. But, I don't know. I just try to take a breath away from Dawgs hockey before I feel rejuvenated around, June, getting ready to recruit and get this team back where we want it to be.
Yeah, well, we're excited to see where you guys take it. Thanks, as always, for taking the time with me, buddy.
Thanks for having me, Mitch.
That's going to do it for this episode of Coach's Corner. Myself and assistant coach Nick DeVito wrapping it up here at the end of the 2024-2025 season. But make sure that you get with our front office as far as how you could be a part of the 2025-2026 season. Season tickets on sale now. Give them a call or visit our website for more information on that. Thank you so much for tuning into this episode. We hope you have a great rest of your day.